I'm project manager and mobile developer at BHC. We are an Odoo partner for more than 10 years and we are based in Mons in Belgium. Today I'm going to talk to you about MyOdoo field service. This presentation will be divided in 5 main points and finally a conclusion. So for the first point, I will talk to you about what is MyOdoo. MyOdoo is a native mobile application available on iOS and Android platform. This app is used by more than 70,000 users around the world. This app is compatible with community and enterprise version of Odoo. This app uses native UI and native UX of iOS and Android, so it's totally able to work with your personal device. And the great thing is that the app is able to work without internet connection. This app is also able to work with multiple versions of Odoo from 8 to 13 and tomorrow 14. And also the app is working with at least 9 languages. So now let's talk about some apps that we develop based on this mobile app. So that's really important to know that it is not only a mobile app, it's also a framework to develop new apps. So I will briefly introduce you some apps that we develop with this framework. So we develop, for example, an app for Securitas in Portugal with an app allowing to manage security interventions on the field. We also develop an app for MyOdoo in Belgium with an app allowing to manage event entries, exhibitors, etc. And we also develop an app for Happy Papers with an app allowing to manage warehousing, inventories, delivery orders. So this framework allows us to create a new great apps of different in different sectors. So now let's talk about a customer experience. I will talk to you about a plumber company with around 10 plumbers that they have to go on the road each day. They work on around 12,000 interventions per year, and they create and write more than 2,000 quotes per year. But this company has some problems. They are not working with Odoo and they didn't have a mobile app. They are only working with paper sheets, and we will talk about their problems and the solution we can provide to this plumber company. So now the problems they encountered. The first problem is a lack of customer information for the plumbers when they are on the field. That's really important for the plumber to know who he has to encounter, where the customer is located to go to their intervention. And sometimes this information is not rightly forward to the plumber. That's really the main problem. The next one is about the planning organization, because each plumber have to go to the company in order to take the worksheet with all the intervention they have to do. And when they have, for example, a cancellation during the day, they are blocked with this planning. They kind of call to the office in order to have another intervention, but it's not really efficient. And it's really a problem. Also, another problem is the administrative work. Of course, they are working with paper sheet, and they have to write on the paper and then re-encode at the end of the day or the end of the week. They have to re-encode all this information in an Excel sheet in order to manage work traceability. So work traceability is also a problem, because if they forgot to do this administrative work, of course they lose the work traceability. They forgot what they done, what they have to do, which materials they used, and it's also a real problem. Now let's talk about the solutions. The solution we have provided for this company, this customer, is a solution based on Odoo and MyOdoo. So we developed a solution allowing the plumbers and the manager to access the address book, a daily planning in order to manage what they have to do. We also provide a solution allowing them to reduce administrative work, of course, because as you will see in the demo, they didn't have to re-encode all the data. Also with Odoo, they have a real work assistant during each task they have to do. Also, all these features allow them to increase work traceability. So before the demo, I will just briefly explain to you what was the real return of investment they have been able to do with this solution, Odoo and MyOdoo field service. So, as you can see with this chart, the first and the main point is the increase of the number of interventions they have been able to realize. And with this increase of interventions, they have been able to increase the quotes, invoicing, and all this result also increase the profitability of the company. So now I will really present you the application and the solution in a live demo. So here, at the start of the app, the chief or the responsible of plumbers have to encode who are with him in the field. So who is the first operator, who is the second operator. This allows them to know who is in the team and who and this information will be completed on each worksheet during the day for the next. So I will just select the first operator. So here I have all my employees and I can just select who is in my team. So when it's done, I can click on the next button and directly I am on my daily planning. Okay, so here I have 4 interventions that I have to do, and I can pass to a previous day or a next day in order to see what I have in my planning for tomorrow or what I've done last day or yesterday. So they have 2 main add-ons in these apps. These 2 add-ons are contacts and interventions, of course, because contacts are really important for the plumbers, as I said, in order to know who he has to encounter and where he has to go. So they are also able to access all the contacts of the company directly in the field, and then they can access, for example, this one. Of course, all the data of Odoo are not available in the app because it is not necessary. We create an app the most simple as possible. The plumber has only to know the email address, the mobile phone, the customer address, sometimes the website if it is for a company, and also the manager can write an internal note in order to inform some specific things for this customer to the plumbers. Also, of course, the plumber are able to edit this customer and is also able to create new customers. So that's really great because the data in Odoo will be updated directly from the field and from the plumbers. So now let's go to the main parts of the work, the interventions part. So as I said before, I have here my daily work. I have 4 interventions, and I will access some information necessary for the plumber to realize the work. So I just have to click on one intervention in order to see the details. So as you can see here, they have some screens. The first one explains the general information about this intervention. Who is the customer? What is the description? is there some attachments? So all the information in the general allow the plumber to know what he has to do. Okay, so he can of course add some pictures, select some pictures in order to complete the repertory, the directory of this customer. So of course I can start the GPS just by clicking on this little icon, or I can also access to all the partner information by clicking on the name of this customer, and I can come back to my intervention. So as you can see on the top right corner, you have some information. First we have a counter. This counter will count the time I spent to this intervention. I have a button to cancel this intervention. Of course, sometimes it happens that I have to cancel this an intervention because the customer is not there. So I can cancel and just write an explanation. So I can click on cancel, OK, and this will close this information and send this information to my manager in Odoo directly if I am connected to the internet. At the end of the day, it can be synchronized to Odoo. So I can cancel this information, but I can also start this intervention. So I just have to click on the button, like a play button, and now the counter is counting my time. I can pause this intervention or I can stop it. But before that, I have to work, right? So I can go to the worksheet screen. In this screen, I have a lot of fields. These fields are the worksheet that this company need to be completed for an intervention. All these fields have been configured in Odoo firstly, and then they are able to complete it directly on the app. So I have some fields. I have, for example, some checkbox, some drop-down list. I have really a lot of fields. All of this have been configured in Odoo. Finally, I have a sign view, allowing my customer to sign directly this intervention. And then I just have to save this, and the worksheet will be pushed to Odoo. The last screen in this intervention is the invoice. This part allows the plumber to create an invoice directly on the field. Just by clicking on this button, all the products that are existing in Odoo are loaded directly in the app and is able to select. Here, for example, I select few products. I can, of course, change the quantity. I put 5 units of this, and I just have to click on the top right corner icon to validate, and then all my lines are created in the app. Okay, so actually it is only saved in the app, but I have a button in order to create invoice, and then again this information will be pushed in Odoo. This will create a draft invoice in Odoo, allowing my manager to check if everything is okay, and then send the invoice to the customer, etc. Okay. So here, everything is okay. My worksheet is completed. I've created an invoice. I can, of course, create the invoice. It's a bit working. Yes, okay, that's right. It's a success. And then I can stop the intervention. So I just have to click on the top right corner, stop. That means that this intervention is done, so it will be removed from my planning, and a notification will be created to my manager in order to let him know that this intervention is okay and I can pass to the next, right? So I can just click on the previous button, and then, as you can see, I have only now 3 interventions to do. So now let's come back to the presentation. Let's pass to the conclusion now. So, as you see in this presentation, we encountered a plumber company with few problems. We tried to create a great solution for him based on Odoo and MyOdoo, and that's why we developed MyOdoo Field Service. With this app, he has been able to manage his daily work and the daily work of his plumbers. Of course, this app also allows to reduce re-encoding. As you can see, he is able to complete this worksheet directly in the field. Also, they are now able to record the work time directly when they are to their customers. E-sign is a great thing also because the customers can sign directly the worksheet and then send him to Odoo. So it's really great because you don't have to send an email to your customer. Could you sign this? Are you okay with all this intervention? You have this information directly in the field. Of course, because of Odoo, they have been able to analyze project profitability and field service profitability. So that's really great. And the last point is that all the action that have been done in these apps have been geolocated. So the managers can see in real time where is the plumbers, where was he, where was he previously, last days. So it's okay, it's really cool. So we can now pass to the questions. Thank you. Hi everybody, thank you for watching.
All right, hi, I'm here with Jonathan. Sorry, I think I was briefly muted. Sorry about that. We're gonna go ahead and dive into your questions. Don't be afraid to keep asking even while we're discussing, and we will get to all of the questions that you have. So we're gonna jump off with a question from Eugene, and it's a bit of a tricky one to start with, but I'll go ahead and read what he has to say. So many companies don't allow to connect to ERP via smartphone. So cyber security and data protection, considering that, how does MyOdoo address security?
Yes, of course, indeed, the mobile app need to be connected to Odoo. What we do, it's about sensitive data. First, they are encrypted in the smartphone database, and of course, the communications are secured because we used a security protocol such as HTTPS. But the main thing is that data are encrypted in the local database. But yes, the app need to be connected to Odoo.
Okay, and do you have, on the same note, do you have a security concept which can be given to the client so they can use it in their GDPR concept? No, because the GDPR concept are really linked to Odoo. So if everything is done in the Odoo part, the app will of course validate this agreement. Okay, thank you. We have another question. Have any features in the app been added to make it available to add products through the phone, so you can do that directly and have an effect on the invoice and sales orders?
Yeah, of course. We develop multiple apps based on what you have seen in the presentation and the demo. And on one of them, we of course include a feature allowing the technician to create sale orders and also invoices in order to invoice directly the customer in the field. So yes, it's a feature that it's already included in the app.
Right, because you can never know exactly what will happen when you're in the field.
Yes, of course.
So another question, can the person who's in the field, who's working, can they get the schedule per day on the phone or on their mobile?
Yes, that's right. You will have your daily work and your complete planning directly on your mobile phone. That's really the goal, the main goal of the app.
Perfect. So how widely used is the app? How many daily users do you have?
Actually, we have around 50 active users in multiple companies, such as security installations, plumbers, electrical installation. So actually, we have 50 active users on the field. But
Wow.
it's growing. Of course, it's a new
Mm-hmm.
product. So of course, the app is growing with users, and we constantly improve the app based on the users' needs.
Right, absolutely. So if the user would like to customize, maybe remove or add fields, what they see in the app, is that possible?
Yes, of course. The main goal of the framework and the app is to be completely adapted to the technicians. So of course, it's really easy to add new fields, to remove some fields, to move some views, and also to create new features. That's really important to know that, because the goal is to create a personal app for companies and technicians.
And do you do this unique customization on a case-by-case level, or is it possible for the customers to do some of these small modifications themselves?
Yeah, we create an app, a generic app, allowing to, we hope, allow for each company to work with. But of course, we create some custom app case by case.
Okay. So actually, with that in mind, what are some of the other apps that BHC has created based on Odoo?
So why we create a custom app? No,
What are some of the other ones that you have created based on
MyOdoo
Odoo?
framework.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. We create several apps. Maybe you have seen some of them in other talks. Um, the goal is, of course, to create a dedicated mobile app as simple as possible for some works and for workers. So that's really the mindset of BHC with the mobile app, to create simple app working offline, of course, because it's
Mm-hmm.
generally a great problem for them. And that's the mindset.
You have a great thing, especially with the working offline, because you never know if you're going to hit a dead zone or not have 4G or something like that. So that's super cool.
Yes.
For the MyOdoo field service app, what other Odoo applications is it integrated with?
With the mobile app,
Yes.
yes, of course, here, because the app is quite simple, we have, of course, as you've seen, field service, of course, contacts, invoices for the app that we allow these features uh, in. We also can create sale orders, so we have sales. And for some customers, we also include warehousing, because if they use some material from their stock, they have to be removed from the stock, and then to update quantity in the good locations. So we have, of course, multiple add-ons that is included in the app, um, in order to complete the solution for the technicians.
And how did you guys, this is a bit general, but how did you guys get started with this partnership with Odoo to start working with Odoo?
Oh, it's it's of course a general question. BHC is an Odoo partner for more than 10 years now. Of course, the main goal was firstly to meet our needs. So we start using Odoo for our needs, and of course, by using it, we have considered to implement it for our customer, because we have um, uh, we, we we encounter some customer that needs some ERP too. So
Mhm.
that's how the things have been started, briefly, of course.
So then you were able to find some pain points and sort
Yes,
of launch things, do your own development and customization to answer those needs.
yes, that's right.
Well, great. Let's see if anyone has asked any other questions since we have been chatting. I don't see anything for now, but we do have a Jitsi link. So if anyone wants to ask further questions for an extended Q&A, you can go ahead and join the Jitsi conversation. So it's not too late to ask your questions. You can just ask them there. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you too.
Have a great rest of your Odoo experience.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.